Mark that off. You can do more rows if you want. You can do 6 or 7 rows. Or 8 rows. Okay, I'm going to line up those little marks. And it's good to have some breathing room around here so that I have a nice little edge. You want to have a little bit of an edge because if something's going to fold on this line here, if it's going to fold out here, you don't want to cut right on that line there because it will never hold the fold. It will just fall off. So you want to have a little white edge. So I'm just going to mark this like this. So I know that that's just my extra paper. You can even cut off the bottom if you want. It's just getting in the way. And then that could be a strip for somebody else. So then what I want to do is I want to label these A, B, alternating boxes. So this, in the top left-hand corner, I'm just going to write A, B, very lightly, A, B, A. The next row, I'm going to write B, A, B, A, B, then alternate again, A, B, A, B, A. Next row, B, A, B, A, B. Next row, A, B, A, B, A. Okay, so they alternate. This row, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. This row, B, A, B, A, B, A. It's just reversed, okay? So now I know where to put my boxes, where to trace down my boxes. Now we're going to use our heavy light box here. And what you're going to do then is take your 2 boxes, your A and B boxes, and wherever it says A, you're going to trace down. You're going to line up that box because on here it's 2 by 2 and on here it's 2 by 2, so they should match up. That's why it's always important to use a ruler. Okay, and in the A box I'm going to trace my A design. I like to use a ruler. I think you should too. Keeps everything very clean. So there's my fold lines. And now I'm going to make my cutout triangle. You don't have to go really hard, pressing hard with the pencil. Okay, I'm just going to color that in. Now my B box is here. Okay, so I'm going to match up my circle that I used. And these circles are numbered, like this is 1 3/4 circle, so you want to remember that. Okay, so this is my fold, right? And I'm going to just make my fold line here. Okay, and then this is my cutout circle. Okay, let me shut this light off so you can see this. Okay, so now you would just keep going. You'd put this box, A box, here. You'd put this box, the B box here. You'd put the A box here, and you just continue tracing down your boxes. Okay, so let's say we did that. Oh, sorry. Let's just say we did that. And now we're ready to cut. What you want to do is you want to get one of these cutting boards. Very important. You don't want to cut right on top of the desk, the table. It will make marks on the table. And that's vandalizing school property. So you definitely don't want to do that. So you do not want to get in trouble, right? Right. So now I'm ready to cut. Okay, so on this, I'm going to cut out my triangle here. I'm going to cut that because I shaded it. I know that that's all going to be cut out. So I'm going to go very light. I'm going to keep my I'm righty, so I'm going to keep my left hand away from this edge here because I'm going to be cutting here. You don't want to cut off your fingers, right? And we'll go over all that in class, but I'm going to keep my hand away from my cutting area, holding down my ruler, and I'm going to just cut very slowly. It's very important to have a sharp blade too, so I will check your blade. Just come ask me to check your blade, make sure it's sharp. Okay, so cut that out. There you go. Just throw that off to the side. Now this is the fold box, so where the fold area is, I know I'm not going to cut. I'm going to leave that. My other solid lines, I know I am going to cut. I'm going to cut there. And I'm going to cut this bottom part. But I'm not going to cut here because it's going to fold. See? But what you're actually going to do is, after you're done with all your cutting, we're going to flip it over and you're going to fold it out this way. This way, you don't have to worry about all that pencil line there. Okay? You just have to erase that little arrow where you indicated where you want it to fold. Okay? So let me do the second box. This is my circle box. Now circles are hard to cut. So you want to go very slow. You want to keep your, if you're righty, you want to keep your left hand away from your cutting area. If you're lefty, you want to keep your right hand away, obviously. So I'm just going to go very slowly, cutting a little. It's only a little cut as I twist my hand and my whole body. It's much easier to stand up and do this than to sit down and do this. So stand up so you get some leverage. And just make little cuts. So you get to that line right there. Then you can take your ruler. And just cut off that edge right there. Okay? So you just want to get rid of that. Same thing here. I know I'm not going to cut through here because there's my dashed line. I'm just going to cut this semicircle. Keeping my left hand away, I'm just going to go around and make little boxes, standing up to get some leverage. Much easier. You don't have to white knuckle this X-Acto blade here. You don't have to put so much pressure on it. If it's a new blade, it will cut this paper like butter. Like butter. Alright, and then that's going to fold out this way. There you go. Okay, so after it's all done, I'm going to erase my little lines. That is pretty cool. Now, if I wanted to, if I thought, oh, that's a little boring, I could always just go back to this side, and I could maybe go back in and cut some different things. Let's see. Cut some little different things here. Let's make a triangle here so it relates more to the other one. Let's cut that out. Okay, so you can use your ruler and just cut those little triangles out. I think that will make it relate more. You don't have to use geometric shapes. Remember, you can use a organic shape. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Let me show you, if I wanted to do an organic shape, I'll show you on my planning sheet here.